Good morning. Today we're going to talk about this will be episode number 5, and this is going to be about the things you don't know that you don't know. And this is an important concept in project management. There's going to be the things that you know, there's going to be the things you know, you don't know, and then there's going to be the things that you don't know that you don't know. And you have to kind of develop a sixth sense or sort of a thought process around when approaching project elements. What are you missing? And how do you go about finding it? And I'm going to share with you a story that's actually in the book in this section about the things that you don't know, I'm just going to read the whole story here. This is something that was taught to me by a sales manager I was on sales calls with, and I want to share it with you. It's called the machine gun story. A long time ago, in land far, far away, there were 2 warring kings. With the kings evenly matched, their war was without end. Both sides could bring the same number of archers and knights to the field. The kings were at a stalemate. One day, a salesman came to the gate seeking an audience with one of the kings. He was ushered into the throne room to make his pitch. Before the salesman could speak, the king bellowed, "I hate salespeople, and I am far too busy for this. Begone." The salesman graciously bowed, thanked the king for his time, and left. He traveled to the opposing king's castle, and after knocking and explaining his purpose, the salesman was marched into the throne room and his presence was announced. The king glared down from his throne and said, "I hate salespeople and I am very busy. You have 5 minutes." The salesman bowed and began his presentation. "Thank you for your time, Your Majesty. My presentation will be short. The opportunity I bring to you today is a new invention, the machine gun. This is an example of the things you don't know that you don't know, and the need to take time to communicate with people, even if you really are very, very busy. There are times when you don't want to deal with certain kinds of people, like salespeople, and you won't give them the time of day. Sometimes you have to give them those 30 seconds or that minute and then move on. Or in this case, an opportunity to learn about those things that you don't know, or process speculation around looking for those things that you don't know. A good example of this is calibration of equipment. You'll be starting a project and there's a piece of equipment that takes measurements, and it turns out that it has a calibration duration. And as a project manager, it is highly unlikely you're going to be aware that the equipment's even really part of the process, much less the calibration on the equipment. And if the calibration expires and the equipment gets sent out for calibration right in the middle of your project, this is something that you didn't know that's now negatively impacting your project. So this is an opportunity then to explore these things with different people within the organization, and that's where that word engagement comes in. You need to engage with the different steps in the processes as you're executing through the project and make sure that you're really looking into some of these details. You'll never catch all of them. There's always going to be something you don't know that you don't know. But by developing an engagement process and inspecting on a case-by-case basis and looking for or asking, is there a critical part of this project that this contributor or that contributor sees as potentially a hazard for the success of the project? And engage with those people, find that information, hunt down those details, and just being aware that they are in the project, that you need to be aware of them, and developing skills for engagement and working with contributors to minimize that, it will have a positive impact on your project. So this is in the book. It's engagement, focus, intention, and project management. And this particular section is the things you don't know, and it's the machine gun story. So thank you for taking time to watch this video. Hope you have a great day. Subscribe and like, and thank you.